All right, we are on. I'm so sorry I couldn't go live this morning. I'm not sure what's going on with my computer and all the tech connections, but here we go. So I wanted to talk about last year, the end of last year, I posted a daily reel to Instagram once a day for about 6 weeks. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what I learned and why I'm not doing it anymore. As always, in any of my presentations, take what you hear here and make it your own. So I'd love to know in the comments what, if anything, has been your experience with Instagram Reels. Have you tried them? Do you like them? Do you like TikToks better than Reels? What is it, right? So if you haven't tried Reels before, I hope this helps you kind of dip a little toe in maybe and try it out. There it goes. So I wanted to talk first about a couple of the things that I learned while I was doing these postings every day. So one thing that I started doing throughout was to start filming as much of my process as I could. So I have like a little gooseneck that comes up off of my desk and sits on top. You could also just pack up a bunch of books or boxes, any way that you can kind of get that overhead view, or setting it up so you can see that side view. But you do want to make sure of whatever's in your background. Make sure you're looking at everything that is on that screen, and that anything that is there is stuff that you're okay with putting out on the internet. But yeah, so shoot everything. So I did this for my art profile, SDM prints, and I was trying out a few different things. And what I really wanted with this is to get more comfortable posting reels. That was my only real goal doing this, because I don't know about you, but video can be scary, right? And in all the videos on my art page, I was only in them either my hands or this like just part of me. So that's my next step for 2023, is to start getting more comfortable with doing videos right on my face. But one step at a time, right? So film as much of your process as you can. Start with one-shot videos. If you're intimidated in any way, start with something that's just one shot, that you're not trying to do different transitions or clips. There are a lot of instrumental music or things that don't have to have those transitions, or that you don't feel like you need to have them. You can just show part of your process and let people enjoy that. As you get more comfortable with it, and as I got more comfortable with it, I started to use some of the editing features in Instagram. I also used an app called CapCut, where you can, so in Instagram, you can speed up your video up to 4 times, 5 times? 4 or 5 times. But in CapCut, you can speed it up 10 times. So if you have a really long process video, you can speed that up. So instead of 30 minutes, it's 3 minutes, which is really fun. And so a lot of people can find that the editing features in Instagram can be a little bit clunky sometimes. So using different apps like CapCut, I've also heard a lot of people really like the editor in TikTok and will edit their videos in TikTok and then upload them as reels on Instagram. But you can definitely use other ways to edit those videos and finding things that work for you. The other thing that I learned and tried to get better at was asking people to do something in every single time you post. And doing that both in the post copy that you post with your reel, but also in the reel itself, doing an overlay of text. So asking them to comment about something, to like it, to share it with other people, and to save it. So when you are looking at music, for picking a music to go along with your reel, you want to look down here in the corner of the reel, and you want to look for that arrow right there. That arrow means that it is a trending audio. Now, if you click on the audio sound there, it'll pop up another screen that'll tell you, who wrote it, what the title is, and it will tell you how many reels have used that sound. If you use if you use a sound that has been used by less than 50,000 other reels, it helps push your content out more through the algorithm. So if you find a reel that's music, excuse me, if you find music that's trending that has, only a couple hundred uses so far, that's one that's going to help you push it a little bit further, because Instagram is like, oh, everyone likes this, and they will start to push it more. The other tip for this is to keep it really short. You have the ability to make them longer, but if you think about what you're watching on Instagram, right? When you're scrolling through Instagram, do you sit through a 5-minute long video? It has to be really engaging, right? For it to be a 5-minute long video. So if you're going to be doing that, even 3 minutes, if you're going to be doing that, make sure that the content that you're putting there is going to engage people. It's going to keep them watching all the way to the end. Because the shorter it is, right, sometimes people watch it multiple times, and that just helps Instagram realize that, oh, this is interesting to people, and they'll push it out to more people. So the shorter it is, sometimes that can be really helpful. And you'll find a lot of sounds that are within that, like that 3 to 6 to 10 seconds that can be really helpful to use. So I wanted to show you the video that I did that currently has over 81,000 views, which I still can't believe that many people have watched it. But
my drawing process from start to finish. Start, finish.
And that's it. That's the whole thing, right? It's super short. It didn't take me a long time to film and was relatively easy to put together. But so this one has over 80,000 views, but it also has 3,700 likes, but only 6 comments, right? So what I want to talk about next is those analytics, things that you want to look at that are beside just those views. So you want to look at your follower count. Is your follower count growing as you're putting these out? I found that mine wasn't really. I think over the 6 weeks, I think I gained like 3 or 4, maybe, new followers. So that wasn't, so the strategy that I was using wasn't bringing me new followers. So you want to look at not only those views, but in the engagement, right? What are people doing to take that next step besides just viewing it? So liking it, right? It's just hitting that heart button. Any kind of comments that they make. Anytime someone comments on your post, make sure that you are commenting back. That's going to help, again, with that algorithm. They like to know that you are engaging with people that are engaging with you, because it is social network, right? Socially, they want us to keep connecting and keep coming back. I mean, and Instagram wants to keep us there as long as possible. So you also are looking for shares and saves. So saves is that, let's look back on this one. Excuse me, whoops. It's this little banner right here. And that just means someone saved it to watch it later, or see it, or share it later, any of those number of things. You can also look at how many people have clicked through and viewed your profile and clicked on your website link, whatever link you have in your bio. So those are things that you want to be looking at to see if your content really is getting out there to people that are then going to either sign up for your email list, or buy your art, or buy your book, or whatever it is that you're trying to get people to do. So I would love to know, if you could pop in the comments, what other things beyond views are you following? What things are you looking at? Or is this something new to you that you didn't think to look at these things? So to look at some of those analytics, okay, you're going to come up here to this little hamburger up here, and you're going to click that, and you're going to click on Insights. And that's going to tell you, you can change this to the last 7 days, the last month, any of that information. You can click through and see how your followers are growing. You can see where your followers are coming from, and you can see the age range of your followers. They also breaks it down into the gender of your followers. And then, pause that. As you scroll down, you can also see, whoops, sorry about that. You can also see the active times, which if you are trying to connect with your followers, looking at when your followers are active and posting within those times, does help push your stuff out to your followers a little bit more. I personally have not yet had success getting things to my followers, which has been part of my problem and something that I'm working on. And part of social media that's so fun is finding that that you just have to keep trying different things, and you have to, when something works, trying to recreate it. So that's one of the things that I was doing, was trying to recreate this reel that really reached a lot of people. And sometimes I had some success, but I have not had the same kind of success as I did on that first, well, it wasn't even my first video, but that first one that got many more views. Another thing in the insights you can look at is your engagement. And what I love about this one is that you can look at the different countries and the top age regions that you're reaching. So this one was really interesting to me because I found that the top age range that I was reaching is that 18 to 24-year-old bracket. And for me, that's not my target audience. That's not who I am trying to target. So one of the reasons that I'm not posting right now is because I want to figure out how to increase this age range, because I want to be targeting people who are, 10 to 20 years older than this. But again, just like in your followers, you can see all of those different analytic information, which is, can be really interesting and really helpful when you're trying to see what's working and what isn't working. And if you're getting that return on investment, right? If you are putting in all of this time, are you reaching the people that you want to be reaching? Are you getting them to engage with your content regularly? Because those are the first steps in getting them to eventually buy things from you, right? And so one thing I did want to talk about is the difference between reach versus impressions. So you may see these numbers when you're looking through, or these terms when you're looking through your analytics. Now, reach is the number of unique accounts that were shown your content. So your reach number is going to be slightly less, sometimes a lot less than your impressions number, because the impressions is the number of times your comment was shown at all. So one account may see your content 4 times, and that would be 4 impressions, but 1 tick up on your reach. So just something to note when you're trying to figure out what those terms mean. Now, why am I not posting daily anymore? So my goal, as I said before, when I started posting every day, is because I wanted to get better at doing reels. I wanted to get better doing video, and I wanted to get more comfortable and confident in doing it. But I did not have a thought out strategy. I didn't sit down beforehand and say, okay, I want to figure out how to reach these people, and this is how I'm going to do it. So for me, it was not enough return on investment, not enough ROI. I was putting in probably, not counting the time I was filming, because that got to be easier as I was going along, because I could just set up my phone and just film all of the things while I was working on my art. But in posting and editing, it was probably between 20 to 60 minutes a day, depending on what I was posting. Now, if I had something that was really short and I knew it was just gonna be one of those one-shot videos, or if it got to 6 o'clock and I said, oh no, I forgot to post a reel today, those tended to be shorter and faster. And what I liked about that was that I realized I could do it. And that was the biggest thing while I was learning this, is that I could just get over my overwhelm, and I could push through, and I could try these things. And a lot of times people like them, which was really cool. So I am feeling more confident about posting content quickly and not having to second guess it or think through it too many times, or any of those number of things that goes through our brains, right? So what I'm doing next is I'm taking a little bit of break from posting reels right now. And I'm going back to define what I want my profile to be. What's my why for being there? Am I trying to sell? Am I trying to teach? Do I just want to entertain? What is it that I am doing with that profile? Because what I want to do, that why, is going to help set my strategy going forward. So speaking of strategy, I also want to think about what objectives I want to meet and how I want my content to help meet those objectives. Do I want to increase my follower count? Do I want to increase the number of people in my newsletter? Do I want to see if I can get people to click through to my website and just look at my portfolio? What things am I trying to get people to do? And then I can start to think about the content that I put out, and not only the videos, but also that written copy that goes with each of them, which is also important to do. So I would love to know if this has answered any questions for you, or if you have new ones. I'd love to answer those. One question I know I did get was about if over the course of these 6 weeks of posting every day, did that increase my sales? No, it did not. And that, I know that is because I did not have a thought out strategy while I was doing it. As I said, my goal was to just get more comfortable with posting videos. So that was the only strategy going forward. So I'm not entirely surprised that it did not increase my sales during that time period. So coming up, I have a digital presence webinar series starting on Monday, where we're going to go in depth on a bunch of different things that are going to help you kind of get a handle on that strategy, if that's what you're looking for. So we're going to be talking about how to DIY your website, and then later in January, talking about social media. I'll probably mention these reels a little bit, but I go more in depth with how to put together your bio, where you should be, what you should be doing, how to think about those things. And then in February, we're going to be talking about email lists and how to get people to sign up for them, which that's one of my favorite things, because it's not something we think about all the time, because we hear social media is really loud, right? So we hear a lot about social media a lot, but our email list is our way to connect directly with people. So it can be a really, really helpful resource. If you would like to reach out to me, you can find me at my website, thestarteffect.com. I also have my personal website at sarahdmaynard.com. And you can find me all over social media at The Start Effect, at Sarah D. Maynard, and then my art profile at SDM Prints. So thank you all so much for watching. And if you have any questions at all, please pop them in the chat. Send me a private message if you want to. I'm really excited about what 2023 is going to bring for all of us, and I can't wait to see what you create. Bye-bye.